So, do animals have morality? Do they even understand morality? I'm having this really bizarre, I don't want to say argument, but disagreement with somebody, and I'm trying just to, I'm pretty much, it's going nowhere, let's just say, because we have completely different ideas of how animals, other animals, I should say, work. And this all started with my statement that homosexuality is natural in the natural world. And this is evident because we see other residents of the natural world where homosexuality occurs, not just human beings, but other species of animals on the planet. It is a trait in the natural world. It is found in the natural world. This is not unnatural because it's all over the place in the natural world. So that's what I was basically saying in this video. And this guy comes back and he's like, well, if homosexuality is natural, is rape and murder also natural? And I'm like, and then he pointed out that lions rape and certain primates commit murder. I don't think that lions and primates have a concept of what rape is or murder is. You know, a male lion will take over another male lion's pride. It's a very, especially with, this is not coming out right. With the tender help of human beings, lions are pretty much rapidly becoming extinct, just like every other creature on this planet that isn't human. And so it's even more important for lions to procreate, to pass their genetic code on. I mean, this is all built in their hard drive. And so when a male lion takes over a pride, he usually kills or drives off the former monarch, if you want to call him that, because I really believe the lionesses have most of the power in a lion pride. But anyway, the male, the former male or males get driven off or killed, and the cubs of the former males get killed, which basically forces the lionesses into, well, it doesn't force them, it causes them, because they're not nursing anymore. It causes their body to go into heat sooner, which allows the new males in the pride to breed with them sooner, and hopefully, for their sake, start a new generation of cubs that have their genetic code. And then if they're lucky and they can live long enough and keep control of the pride long enough for those cubs to grow up, they've then passed their genetic code on. I mean, I think that's basically the whole point of why lions do what they do. I highly doubt that the females, when you see a courtship going on between a lioness and a lion, just like with wolves or many predators, there is some fighting going on. There's some swiping with the claws. There's some, biting each other. There's this whole, it's a, I don't want to say ritual. It's a process. There's a pecking order they have to develop between themselves, and it's a process. Maybe the female isn't in heat yet when the lion first makes its advances. Anyway, I highly doubt there's if there's ever a time when the lioness is actually feeling like she's being raped. Oh my, I've been violated. I'm just never going to be the same. I'm traumatized. I'm going to go whatever. I don't think this is the way it is. I don't think other animals' minds work the way our minds do. It's like, how do you, reading our ideas of what is criminal behavior, what is right and what is wrong, into animal cultures is, in my opinion, really stupid, because it's like they are completely alien to us. We are completely alien to them. Primates do, I've seen videos where primates will gang up on either another of their kind in their troop, or they'll go to war with another troop and they'll kill. It's brutal. But is it murder? Do they consider it murder? Do they have any understanding of what that word means? Or is there something else going on completely? And, it makes perfect sense in their world. And it actually serves a purpose in their world. And it's part of what they do. Animals have this thing called instinct that they are driven by. Humans don't, not so much. That's kind of been dulled in us. So what we have is, we have laws, and we have what we've been taught by our parents, how we should behave to best get along with each other. And we know that if we do harm to somebody, bad consequences will happen to us. And I really do think that there are nice individuals, both in the human world and in the animal world, and not so nice individuals. And, whatever gets passed on, that maybe continues, I don't know. But having a lot of animals like I do, I see a lot of interesting things. I have never subscribed to the notion that humans are superior to animals. I don't believe that. I don't believe that what we call morality, I don't believe that animals lack morality. I think they have it in spades, but I don't think that the concept of morality exists in animals. I don't think that animals behave nicely to each other because they're moral. I think they behave nicely to each other because it's the right thing to do. And that's part of their, what's part of their wiring. It's in their, I've seen nice dogs. I've seen really mean dogs. And like I said, I have lots of animals myself. I see things that surprise me every single day. This morning, I went into my bird room, and I had 2 hens that I bought last year that are I'm pretty sure sisters. They're both almost identical in color, and they're fond of each other. They hang out. I went in the bird room this morning, and I found one of them dead at the bottom of the cage, and the other one was pecking at her. And my first thought was, ew, you don't want to eat that, ew. And so I'm getting the dead bird out, and then, I'm kind of paying attention to what's going on in that cage while I'm doing my normal things that I do in the morning, and this little bird is going down to the place where the dead bird was, and then I'm starting to figure out that she wasn't trying to eat or whatever the other bird. She was trying to make the other bird move. It was a wake up kind of thing. And now she's looking for her sister. She's going down to the place where this bird was. And I'm noticing the other birds in the cage. There's like 8 birds in this cage, and they're all sitting very still on their perches. And they're all cocking their heads, looking down where this bird was laying, trying to see, where did she go? And through the course of the next hour, while I'm taking care of my, giving fresh water and stuff to the birds, and the lizards, I'm watching these birds, and they're going down to the lower perches to look where the bird was. They're trying to figure out where this little bird went. They don't understand. And it just, I think of birds, they are intelligent, but you don't think of little birds like sparrows as being intelligent. They're just sparrows. It's common knowledge that parrots are intelligent birds and crows are intelligent. But little birds, I see stuff all the time that makes me realize that all birds, I've even heard chickens are intelligent. But all birds that I have had to deal with, that I've been able to deal with, are intelligent. I have a Princess of Wales parakeet that I brought home about 4 or 5 months ago that lives with my cockatiel, Mango. And the parakeet has learned all of Mango's words from Mango and actually speaks better than Mango does. He's learned all the whistles that Mango has. I mean, the birds are teaching each other. Mango, on the other hand, has learned how to make canary noises and has also learned how to make the noises that the Princess of Wales parakeet makes. They're very smart animals, and they form friendships. I have 2 little finches that I'm pretty sure are, I don't know what gender they are. They're either brothers or sisters. They're both the same color. They hang out together. When I bought them from the breeder, I noticed that they were in the cage hanging out together, so I said, I'll have those 2 buff ones. And I brought them home, and they hang out together. They're friends. Birds form friendships. Little birds, they form friendships. They have pecking orders. They have rivalry. They have courtship. There's complexity to their little lives. And, if there was no such thing as whatever their equivalent of morality is, they wouldn't care. A bird is dead, oh well. They wouldn't go down and try to figure out where that bird went. They're not going to care. They're going to, if somebody's eating what they want to eat, they're going to fight them and maybe even kill them because, there's no morality. There's no sense of morality in the animal kingdom. This person's like saying, well, should humans get their morality from animals? Like, that's a bad idea. I think it's not a bad idea. I think that there's humans out there that could learn a thing or two from animals. I think that there are animals out there that are, again, I don't want to call it morality because I don't think animals have an understanding of morality. That's a human notion. Like sin is a human notion and crimes are a human notion. But I think that there are animals out there that could teach human beings that actually are more noble and have more integrity than human beings do. Another example, and this one's really bizarre. It's almost like, no, did I see that? No way. Okay, Rocky, my bigger iguana. She's about 10 inches long in her body, and she's got maybe another 2 feet of tail to her. And she's about this big around, so she's heavy. She's a heavy thing. And she can whip her tail hard enough that she could probably kill a canary. It doesn't hurt me too much yet, but it could probably kill a canary. I have her in with my canaries. And my canaries have no fear of her at all. And she watches them. Anyway, the other day, it's still, every time I go in to catch her, we have this big chase because she's not used to me yet. She's lived 3 years of her life in a pet store. She's had different people handling her, so she's not used to me yet. And so we have this game of chase where I have to catch her. And sometimes she whips her tail at me. Well, this happened a couple days ago. I was chasing her around in this big aviary, and she whipped me with her tail and just kind of grazed my arm. But while she's running, and then she runs between these 2 birds so that there's a bird on either side of her tail. And she freezes. She can't go forward anymore because she's run into the side of her cage. So she's sitting on a perch, so she can't really go down, and I'm going in with my hand, and I can see her tail curling up like she wants to whip me. And her eye flicked back, and she froze. And I reached in and caught her. I put my arm around her, and I pulled her down because there was a bird on either side of her tail. And I pulled her down, and I took her out of her cage. She froze. And I keep finding out more and more that lizards are not stupid animals. Oh my God, cold-blooded animals. I never thought that they had any kind of thought process. I thought they were like right up there with worms. Reptiles and salamanders and worms and bugs, all those kind of animals are just, real simple life forms, fish. They don't really think. I was so wrong about reptiles. I actually saw this lizard who had just whipped me, so she was in that mode, pull her tail up to do it again and stop. she saw. She looked back with her eye and she saw that if she whipped her tail, there was this little bird that was right there. Now, how am I to describe that with my human mind? Am I going to put a human idea in there and think, she didn't want to hurt the bird? Because that's what I did. I thought, that's how I interpreted that whole moment. My God, the lizard was basically didn't want to hurt the bird. That's how I interpreted that. Now maybe I'm completely off base, because that's my human interpretation of an animal's behavior. And how can a human really understand what's going on with an animal? In an animal's mind, their minds are completely alien to ours. So, but yes, it still made me wonder. It made me wonder the fact that none of my canaries have died, the fact that the little canaries go and eat out of the lizard's dish, and the lizard is a pig. She likes her food. She eats every scrap. But when the little birds go and nibble on her food, she doesn't go over and drive them off or try to bite them or attack them. I've never seen. The little birds will sit on this lizard, and she doesn't do anything about it. It's like, when you see a male lion on the savannah, and the little cubs are pulling its tail and biting its ears, and it's just kind of sitting there tolerating it. It kind of reminds me of that. I don't think that animals are below humans. I think that animals are simply different from humans. I think animals have their own culture, their own, they coexist with us. They don't live below us. They're not beneath us. They coexist with us. And when we look at an animal, and with our inability to understand what an animal is thinking, we're going to go, oh, well, look at that, and judge them according to our code, our morality, and it just doesn't work. So back to the subject of what I was saying before about homosexuality. I don't quite understand how murder and rape even came into the conversation, because those are, to me, more immoral things. And I don't think that rape and murder even exist in the natural world. But homosexuality is a natural behavior and a natural trait that exists in the natural world. And no matter how dulled we are to the fact, we are actually animals in the natural world too. So, I don't know if this video is making any sense, but I wanted to try to explain. I don't know if this guy's going to watch this video. I wanted to try to explain why I don't think his argument is something I can even try to wrap my brain around. He was upset with me because I wasn't able to clearly argue with him. It's like, I can't argue with something that I don't understand. I don't understand how you can even put rape and murder in the same category as homosexuality. I don't see that. Now, if someone were to say that having sex with animals is not natural, I would agree with that, because in the natural world, you don't really see cows and horses having sex. You don't see cats and dogs having sex. It's, as far as I know, that's either incredibly rare or non-existent in the natural world. So when I hear of humans having sex with animals, I think, yeah, that's really not natural. To me, that's an abomination. To me, that's just disgusting. But same genders having sex is in the natural world, and we are humans in the natural world. We are a part of that. We are part of the natural world. And it just seems to me really strange to compare that to to concepts like rape and murder, and then to say that this is natural in the natural world. I don't agree. I don't think rape and murder exists in the natural world. I think what we call rape and murder, animals call instinct, and the whole trying to survive, I'm survival of the fittest. It's a different thing altogether in their world than what we have in our world. So anyway, that's me trying to explain why I think that this guy's idea well, I just I could not argue with him. I could not try to understand why he would be putting those things in the same category. So anyway, my lizards eat crickets. I don't think of that as murder of the crickets. Okay, that's it. Thanks for listening. Bye.